J. Edgar Hoover, the master of the FBI archives, did more than manage espionage files. He controlled a secret collection, a vault of federal investigations that defied official logic. These archives reveal research into spontaneous combustion, extrasensory perception, and cases of possession. Did the FBI investigate supernatural phenomena? And why were these files, classified and sealed, kept hidden from historians and the public? The shadow of the occult looms over the very foundations of the agency. But the most important document remained undiscovered. The FBI Bureau, under J. Edgar Hoover for nearly 50 years, held a scope far wider than mere criminality. Federal archives contain investigation reports that extend far beyond typical criminal cases. Federal agents conducted research into phenomena that escape conventional scientific explanation. These records detail cases of spontaneous human combustion, documented across hundreds of pages. Investigations took place into extrasensory perception. Cases of possession were categorized under specific classifications. These files, kept within federal archives, suggest an intersection between police investigation and phenomena the official authority preferred to ignore. These archives reflect a parallel reality. They tell a history that institutions sought to bury. But who has the right to unearth these truths? The official version of the FBI maintains that all investigations are strictly limited by law and established facts. Files concerning paranormal phenomena, if they exist in the archives, are treated as psychological anomalies or misinterpretations. The government asserts that federal agents are not mandated to investigate domains outside the scope of empirical science. Any mention of possession or cults is refuted as an erroneous extrapolation of human psychology. This position aims to maintain a facade of absolute control over information. The government claims all federal investigations are strictly limited by legal and scientific frameworks. But the FBI archives, especially the famous paranormal collection recovered through FOIA requests, contradict this claim. Specific reports, such as the 114-page file on spontaneous human combustion, detail observations that find no explanation in standard psychology. Document Y, a series of internal correspondences, suggests that agents actively investigated cases of possession. They even pursued exorcisms, treating them as legitimate procedures. According to the archives, federal agents were capable of opening investigations into these phenomena. Yet, if agents could investigate the occult, why were these files classified and buried? And why were the details concerning the cults of the finders and the alleged satanic rituals confined to obscure corners of the archives? The FBI archives, accessed through Freedom of Information requests, form an undeniable collection of tangible proof. The 114-page report on spontaneous human combustion establishes direct correlations between physical events and unusual mental states. These data points are not mere anecdotes. They document systematic observations made by agents concerning phenomena that defy all biological explanation. Files concerning extrasensory perception indicate attempts to interpret these subjective experiences using formal investigative methods. This suggests an internal recognition of these phenomena's existence. The archives also contain investigation protocols for cases of possession. They document procedures followed, including exorcisms, treating them as legitimate administrative actions. Records concerning the cults of the finders and alleged satanic rituals point toward organized activities. These groups were either under surveillance or considered such by federal services. These elements, often sealed with annotations, form a network of information that escapes public narrative. But the most disturbing detail resides in the coded lines and marginal notes. They reveal an institutional knowledge of these events. The existence of these files suggests a reality where the boundaries between criminology, psychology, and the unexplained are porous. If the FBI held evidence of occult investigations, it implies the institution was aware of a dimension of reality that could not be contained within conventional legal frameworks. The way this information was managed, the classification process, raises the question of the power that chooses what is revealed and what is concealed. These archives are not just reports. They are the testimony of a surveillance that extends far beyond the visible. Occultism may have been merely a facade for broader control mechanisms. It was the testing ground for experiments conducted under the guise of national security. Agents were perhaps not investigating demons. They were investigating the limits of human perception when faced with forces the state was obligated to master. The true nature of the threats may be less supernatural than the records suggest. Today, this collection of archives echoes current debates on government surveillance and the truth. Recent congressional hearings raise urgent questions about the management of classified information and the line between national security and the freedom to research. Why do certain files, even those from the past, remain hidden in the shadows? Current researchers search these archives for keys to understanding dynamics deeper than political or military events. The methods of past federal investigations might illuminate the control mechanisms currently in place. What we have seen here is only a fraction of what was withheld. If the FBI investigated the occult, what does that reveal about the limits of authority? Do these documents describe a reality we are destined to ignore? And if federal investigative methods extended beyond the visible, where do the true secrets reside that institutions choose to bury? And if what we have seen is only the surface? This program is officially concluded. What replaced it? That is a conversation for another day.